Okay, number one, our etude at 90 beats per minute, maybe also at 100. I think you said 90 or 100 is about where you have those issues, so you definitely said it at 90. So I'm going to stick with this until 90 feels good. Try to use some patterns that require fairly little thinking on the fret hand. So basically, to start off, the like the first line here, just staying in this 5-7-8 pattern, and then what we do next is the 5-7-9 pattern. So basically, this first, third, and fourth finger, or whole step, half step. So the whole step, half step pattern, and then the two whole steps. And then what we do is shift over a little bit and repeat that pattern at a higher octave. So there's the whole step, half step again. And then we got the whole step again. So basically this right here and then we do it again an octave higher. And next we do a similar thing. Start with whole step, half step again. But then we do a half step, whole step next. So whole step, half step, whole step, and then we do it again one octave lower. So not a bad idea, in fact a very good idea. Get familiar with the pattern first, like what notes you're going to be using. Now, of course, the notes we're going to be using, well, say the pattern we are using within the pattern. Well, that got really loud, didn't it? Why did that do that? The pattern we're going to use, ooh, I need to turn that gain down. The pattern we are using within the pattern, let me check this mic a little bit better. No, that's all the way down. All right, weird. Being extra sensitive. Pattern we are using within the pattern is not just straight up, so we're kind of going back and forth a little bit. So you could also just practice without all the extra picking the pattern within the pattern. So basically this. So just kind of going back and forth. And then when you're going to practice this, what you can do, let me change the setting here. Whoops. There. Oh, that's kind of cut off. That's not good. Alright, one sec. Let me reset this. There, now we can see it, everything. So like the beginning here, like you might just want to focus on that just to get it down. You can do less, you can do more, but highlighting that and then turning this loop on, that'll just cause it to go over and over and over again. Now, you can also put on a setting to give yourself a count, like a 4 count before it starts to loop over again, to give yourself a chance to go from G string back down to the E string without having to rush the thing. So you go up here, I think that's where it is, metronome settings, yes. So right up here where these 3 dots are, click on that. That's also where you can change the metronome volume, whatnot. But if you put on between the loops, when it does the repetition, it's going to give you a full bar, full count to start over again. So if you don't want it to do that, you just keep the loop or the between loops off, and it'll just keep playing as if it's one continuous piece. But again, if you don't want to have to go from the G string all the way down to the E string right away, and you want to have a little bit of time to do so, put that between loops on. And then any section that's giving you the most trouble, just highlight it, loop it, and yeah, especially, just getting the piece down, knowing what the notes are. And even if that means just doing 2 strings at a time, or in this case 4 bars, totally fine. Totally fine. So break this down into as many pieces as you need to in order to get it down. But yeah, really focusing on 90. Now, as far as like working anything up, if you really wanted to work something up, 60 to 90 is not a whole heck of a lot, right? But you might want to do that just to help you memorize what it is, and that's fine. But I wouldn't do the whole thing. That's way too much. Like maybe just 1 line or 2 lines, basically 4 bars or 8 bars. You could work something up like that. That's fine. But the entire thing, I think that's no. That is some serious overkill there. That being said, I'm going to play along to the track here. And let me just double check the volume of the track versus the guitar. Harmony. Alright, so here we go, from the top, our 90 BPM etude. Number 2. This is a normal thing, so we're just working it up, 60, 65, 70, and so on. And there we go. All right, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. angle here. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hundred, 1, 2, 3, 4. I missed the string. 1, 2, 3, 4. $140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no more pinch harmonics out of me. Because now I'm just screwing up because I'm thinking about doing pinch harmonics. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. $180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $220. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. 180 for the repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 3. $61. 2, 3, 4. $100. 1, 2, 3, 4. $140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm definitely doing quite the downward slant here, and really like doing the palm mutes for this. Really helps me play this kind of thing easier. If I was not palm muting, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Possible, but I think it just sounds better with the palm mute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change positions too soon. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to watch the screen. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. There we go. Let's try 150. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 170. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Do the repeats at 120. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let's do it at 130. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Next one. Right, it's this guy. Let's change the setting here. Yeah, so I got it set at 180. So the things you can do, you just like start with just a little bit, a little bit at a time. As far as building it up, I would say just you already have the speed for it, right? Because you definitely demonstrated it today. It's almost exactly the same as the last palm mute accent pattern. The thing is different is we end every second bar with a quarter note. Every second bar with a quarter note. So it's going to give yourself just a little bit of a break. This way you can really push the endurance a little bit longer, or push this kind of pattern longer. Because it's... Ooh, I needed to add in a count in. Ooh. Glad I noticed that. I'm going to do that now. Because, I'm going to have the drums count you off. There we go with that. Okay. This to this, boom, boom, and there we go. Now we're okay. All right, good. So almost identical to last time, but just ending this with a quarter note. So, good idea. Get familiar with the chord progression. And then at the end here, got an interesting repeat you can do to kind of save space. So we're going to play these two lines 2 times, and then it moves on to this. And then we have the repeat symbols here again. So a new set of repeat symbols. But right here, these 2 bars, it has this little 1 bracket going on. So what that means is you play these 2 bars the first time you go through this. But on the second time, when you do the repeat, you're going to go through those bars, and then you jump down here to where that 2 is. So first time through this section, you play all that. Second time, you play this, and then jump down to that. So Guitar Pro is going to do that automatically for you. It's going to play exactly that, and I'm going to play along to it. So, let's see. The looping thing, like I showed earlier, that's an okay thing to do here. Also, everything you do, let's say you want to just make sure you can play that. What you can do is highlight that, and then let me turn that other window on. There we go. All right, so you highlight that, and then make sure the count in is turned on. So, yes, that little hourglass right there. So if you do that, you'll hear the 4 clicks before the starts. Now, the reason why you want to highlight that, say you're just focusing on that, because when that's highlighted and you hit the space bar, and then let's say you have to stop it to try again, you just hit the space bar, it stops, and then hit the space bar again when you're ready. And then it'll start playing right there at the beginning of where the highlight is. So maybe you want to just try these bars right there to make sure that you got it. And I would leave the loop thing off. So highlight this, make sure the count in is on, but don't have the loop on, so this way you can just try it and then give yourself a second to try more of the same thing again. Because once the highlighted portion is done playing, it'll just stop playing. If at the 180 this is too fast of a count in and you would like a little more time, what you can do is go up here to those 3 dots again, and duration, change it to 2 bars. So this way you get 8 counts instead of 4. So you can always do that with anything that you're working on if you need more time to get ready. But I'm just going to play through this whole thing. So, and I'll play along with the track. Let's see. So yeah, the chords. Just a good idea to get familiar with what the chords are. This way you're not having to think about it so much. And then that repeats. Then it's going to do a very similar thing. Basically, it's going to play the same kind of progression, just moved up. In this case, a 4th. Like it's the same movement pattern, just just doing the same thing, but over here now. And then it starts off that way again. But then, to resolve the progression, changes at the end there. Okay. Here we go. From the top. I can barely even hear the drums. I'm going to mute the MIDI guitar on this and just follow the bass and the drums. And you can also change the volume of stuff. Like when you have this panel open here, so if you need to change the volume of anything, you can do so down here. That bass might be a little bit too loud as well. Alright, let's try that. Alright, hopefully that's good enough now. And then after you're able to play the entire thing at 180, try it at 190. Try it at 200. In fact, let's just try it at 200 right now. Oop. Okay, I did not have that set at the right place. I'm sorry. I could swear I have that set right there, and yet it's like skipping it when I go to hit play. Look at that, I did it again. Okay, I'm at the beginning. Why is it not starting at the first bar? If I highlight it, will it do it the way I want it to? Weird. So, I was kind of like changing the way my arm was positioned a little bit during some of that, just to kind of help some other muscles get involved. So, you know, when you're doing this and you start getting tired, you might want to, you know, move your arm, move your shoulder a little bit. Just try and help yourself just be able to push it a little bit further. Let's see. Remember to breathe when you're doing it. Definitely got to remember to breathe, because you'll be pushing that endurance big time. Yeah, you don't have to go faster than 180. Just focus on trying to get everything at 180 to begin with. See how far you get. And if you want that extra challenge, then you can start going faster. But get the 180 first before trying going any faster there. Yeah, I think that covers it all. Any questions, let me know. And yeah, just remember, just add a little bit when you're doing this. So, you know, just make sure you can get that much to start, and then try and get that much, and then try and get that much, and then that, and then get that whole repeat in there. So yeah, just add a little bit more. Just keep adding a little bit, add a little bit. So try and start right at the 180, and just keep adding a little bit as you go, until you get the entire thing. Alright. What happens if I hit space now? And now it starts at the beginning like it should. Weird. Guitar Pro can be a little glitchy sometimes. As wonderful as the program can be, it definitely has little weird things that happens. Alright, there we go. Any questions, let me know. I will see you again next week.